Hi everyone, welcome back to Lulumath. This video is an introduction to systems of equations and we'll talk about solving systems of equations by graphing. Just really quickly, I want to talk about a solution. What is a solution to something? So if, for example, I'm given an equation where I end up getting 2x plus 5 equals -11. I'm going to solve this equation for x. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, and I'll end up getting 2x equals -16. Divide both sides by 2, and I end up getting x equals -8. Well, this -8 right here is a single solution to this equation that we have here. Sometimes we have one solution, sometimes we have multiple solutions to something. But the reason why this is a solution is because x equals -8 satisfies this equation, okay? So if I were to replace this x right here with -8, and I were to evaluate each side of my equation, well, 2 times -8 is -16, and -16 plus 5 is -11. So that means that -8 satisfies the equation. So a solution is a set of values, and sometimes it could just be a single value, that satisfy an equation or inequality. Okay, so let's say, for example, instead of having an equation here, we had an inequality, which was 2x plus 5 is greater than, sorry, -11. So if I were to go through and follow the same solution right here, I would end up getting x is greater than -8. So I have multiple values of x that could work, right? Anything that is bigger than -8 could be a solution to my equation, okay? So for example, so this right here, this is indicating that I actually have infinite solutions, okay? So an example of a solution could be when x equals -7. Well, -7 is bigger than -8. So right here, I could say 2 times -7 plus 5 is greater than -11. Well, 2 times -7 is -14. And -14 plus 5 is -9. Well, -9 is greater than -11. So that means x equals -7 is a solution to this inequality that we have right here. Another example of having a solution is if I had a graph such as 5x plus 2y equals 16, for example. If I were to graph it out, I would end up getting a line, and that line represents all the values that satisfy this equation right here. So let's take a look at what that line will look like. So if you take a look right here, 5x plus 2y equals 16, we end up getting this line right here, and any point along this line is a solution. So for example, right here, we have the point, we'll write this out right here so we can kind of see it. 2, 3 is a point on the line, so it works right here. So if I were to plug that in for x and for y, I will end up getting an equation that is satisfied. So let's demonstrate that one solution of infinite solutions is 2, 3. Okay, so remember this 2 is this x right here, and the 3 is the y right here. So when I replace it, that information here, instead of x, I'm going to replace it with this 2 right here. So 5 times 2 plus 2 times, instead of y, I'm going to replace it with this 3 right here. 2 times 3 equals 16. So right here I get 10 plus 6 equals 16, which is true. 16 equals 16. So we've verified that 2, 3 is, in fact, a solution. Now remember, when we have a line, we have infinite solutions because we have infinite points on the line. Okay, so what is a system of equations? A system of equations is just simply a set of equations that has at least two variables in it and has one solution that satisfies all the equations simultaneously or at the same time. Simul Simultaneously. Okay, so I'll demonstrate for you what that will look like in the next example. So in this example here, we're asked to solve the following system of equations by graphing. So if you look right here, we've got this 3y minus 2x equals negative 3. So I'll highlight that one in blue for you guys. And then we also have our purple one, y plus 2x equals 7. So again, both of these lines have infinite solutions because a line has infinite points on them. But because they are two straight lines, they'll have one intersection point, and that intersection point is my solution. So let's go ahead and start to graph out these lines so we can see how to figure out what the solution is. So our first line, 3y minus 2x equals negative 3. I'm going to isolate this y so I can graph it out. I want to put it in y equals mx plus b format. Okay, so here, what I will do is I will add 2x to both sides. Okay, so I end up getting 3y equals, these are not like terms, so I'm just going to put it with the x first, so it's 2x and then minus 3. Okay, divide everything through by 3, and I end up getting y equals 2/3 x, because 2 divided by 3 is not going to divide out evenly, minus 1. So in order to graph this out, I'm just going to start at -1 on my y-axis because this is my y-intercept. And my slope is 2 over 3, which means I need to go up 2 and to the right 3. Okay, up 2 and to the right 3. Now, if I run out of room and I want to have more points, I can go down 2 and to the left 3, down 2, and to the left 3. Okay, now I can just connect my dots right here. So then I can end up getting, I can see my first line, my first blue line right here. I'll just adjust this a tiny bit so that I can have it go through all the points perfectly. So that is my blue line. Now let's go ahead and talk about isolating the y in my purple line. So my purple line is y plus 2x equals 7. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides, okay? And I end up getting y equals negative 2x right here. And this is a positive 7, so plus 7. So I'll start at 7 here, and then I'll go down 2 into the right 1, down 2 into the right 1, down 2 and to the right 1. I'm going to keep going down 2 over 1. I know it's over 1 because this is there's an invisible denominator of positive 1 right here. Down 2 and to the right 1, okay? And then I will go ahead and connect my dots. And as you can see, the two lines will intersect at one point, which is at 3, 1. So that means that my solution that satisfies both equations is at 3, 1. So when x is 3 and y is 1, my blue equation here will be true, and my purple equation here will also be true. Okay? So in our last example that we have here, it asks us to solve this equation by graphing. And I'm going to use Desmos in order to graph out this equation, this system of equations right here. So our first equation is 5y plus 2x equals 7. And our second equation is 3y minus 4x equals 2. And if you notice right here, the solution is going to be this value right here. And so we end up getting a decimal or a fraction. So sometimes graphing things out is not going to help us to get accurate answers, which is why we need to have another option or other methods in order to solve systems of equations to help us get some accurate answers. So stay tuned for other videos on my channel or on my website to get more information on how to solve systems of equations by using other methods. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments or at lulumath.com. You can find blank notes sheets or filled in notes sheets on this topic at lulumath.com as well. And please, if you could subscribe and share this video with others, that would be wonderful. All right, see you next time. Have a great day.